All right, so Jamie, your 12-year-old daughter was just begging you to let her check out the midnight screening of The Hunger Games tonight, and you wrote that you weren't quite sure about letting her go, and your readers totally let you have it. How did she ultimately change your mind?
Well, she begged, she groveled. It was, it's hard to say no to my beautiful 12-year-old daughter. We held out for a few days, but ultimately we caved because many of her friends were going. I had read the book, so I kind of, I had to read the book first before I could okay it. But
why didn't you want her to go, though? Why didn't you want her to go?
Well, the truth is, I didn't want to go to the movie tonight because it's a school night. And she's not going to get home till past 3 o'clock in the morning. It had less to do with my concerns about her originally reading the book than just not getting any sleep,
She's going to be the coolest kid in school tomorrow, though. That's the cool thing. There you go. Now, Jamie, I love the way you summed up Hunger Games in your article, calling it reality TV at its most extreme. Ruthie, having been there, done that from your time as a cast member on Real World Hawaii, do you get why some parents might be a little iffy about letting their child see a movie like The Hunger Games?
I don't think so. This is going to be, I think this is going to be huge. I think it's going to be probably as big as Twilight, if not bigger. And I think it's awesome. I mean, I found out today that the inspiration came from some of those reality competition shows. I'd like to think that maybe one of our shows inspired it. But I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think everybody should see it. I'm excited. I can't wait.
But see, this takes reality to a whole nother level because it's life or death. I mean, it's taking the obsession with reality to that next level. And this is obviously not the first time the tween crowd has formed an obsession with a movie. There was the Harry Potter series, then came the Twilight crew. Jamie, what's the biggest positive in this kid-tween obsession with these books that are becoming movies?
Well, I've been a little concerned with the obsession with some of these dark themes in these movies, Twilight and now Hunger Games especially. But ultimately, I think that there are some really very redeeming qualities about the book. I was kind of branded as a book burner when I wrote this story. But if you actually read my story, I ultimately give the book a lot of praise. It's a wonderfully written book. There are positive themes of survival and loyalty and about poverty and starvation. Some of the themes are dark, but ultimately it's life-affirming. And so, I want people to know that I'm not anti-Hunger Games. I just had a typical parent's concerns about some of these. I mean, we're talking about children killing children in this book. Yeah. And my child is reading that. So I was just a little concerned, but ultimately I think it actually sends a very positive message. It's a strong book.
I want to put the same question to you. Reality TV shows really push the limits, and sometimes what we see in these shows will just make you cringe. But when you compare that to The Hunger Games, which is rated PG-13, by the way, there are still some very violent scenes. Wow. Ruthie, do you think that kids take reality shows, not as seriously as they should and say, well, it's okay, for this to happen in Hunger Games?
In a lot of competitions when I've been in it, there are a lot of similarities between that. There's a lot of villains and everything, but I'd like to think that when I was on the show, I kept my integrity and I fought, and I'd like to think that I was one of the good guys. So when people watch these things, they're also inspired by the people that actually keep their integrity, and I think in the Hunger Games, they're going to more relate to the people that are trying to do good as far as that instead of the villains. I hope.
Jamie, we got 10 seconds. Are you going to go see the movie with your daughter tonight?
I'm not going tonight. She's going to be with a bunch of other parents, but I am going to see the movie with her probably next week when it dies down a bit.
Yeah, you'll see it on the 4th or 5th time that she sees it next week. Jamie Rito, Ruthie, thank you guys so much.